Bonjour à tous and welcome to French for a Day. This is my little French corner on YouTube where I love to talk about French beauty, fashion and lifestyle, and I love to celebrate my love for France. I post a new video every Saturday, and today we're talking about the flawless French complexion, how to achieve this beautiful flawless skin for the summer months. In no time. It's going to take you less than a minute to achieve the flawless French complexion. So let's go ahead and get started. Before that, if you're new to my channel, a very special welcome. If you enjoy beauty talks, be sure to subscribe. I would love if you become part of this lovely beauty community that we have here. And if you're returning, welcome back, dear friends. You're truly appreciated. And thank you so much for taking the time to watch French for a Day. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take my hair back, and this video is going to be divided into two parts because I have two tips that I want to share with you. Now, the tip that I'm going to share with you is you are going to apply this tip at the end of your skincare routine, the very end of your skincare routine. You're always going to start with your skincare routine, and your skincare routine is very important. This is the first step that is going to help to keep your skin healthy over the years, and it's going to help to address any concerns that you have. So the skincare is all up to you to decide which products are going to work for you and what are the products that your skin needs. But usually a lot of people are going to start with the essence, the eye cream, and then they're going to move on to the serum and then the moisturizer. Now, my tip comes with the last step of your skincare routine, which is going to be the moisturizer. Right now, I've already applied my serum and my eye cream, and the last step of my skincare routine is going to be my moisturizer. I am going to mix the moisturizer with foundation, with any foundation of my choice. What this is going to do, if you mix your moisturizer with the foundation, you are going to be able to apply your foundation very quickly because the moisturizer dilutes the foundation. And the whole idea here is that your skin is ready to absorb this moisturizer very well. And if you mix your moisturizer with a little bit of foundation, you're going to get a sheer coverage. But then this coverage that you're going to get, it's going to be almost like a filter, a real life filter. It's going to help to minimize any porous imperfections, but at the same time, it's going to keep your skin looking realistic as if you're not wearing the tiniest bit of foundation. And this is the most beautiful coverage that you could possibly get. I'm going to demonstrate now. Now, I've already applied my serum and my eye cream. The last step of my skincare routine lately has been the Dream Skin by Dior. You don't have to use the same products. Use the products that you have. In the past couple of weeks, I have been testing a lot of different foundations and moisturizers, and they all work very well together. Of course, this is makeup, so probably there is going to be a moisturizer and a foundation that will not work great together, but it's all about experimenting with the products that you have. Just follow the whole process. Now I'm going to take a little bit of the like 1.5, almost 2 pumps, because this is exactly the amount that I use for my face. And then for my foundation, I'm choosing actually a tinted moisturizer. Choose depending on your skin condition. If you have a lot more things to cover, or if you have a lot of redness that you would like to cover, then choose a foundation with medium coverage. This is going to work better. If you're generally happy with your skin, you can choose a tinted moisturizer or any kind of the product that you generally use. So on the back of my hand, this happens very quickly. I'm going to mix the two together on the back of my hand. I'm going to apply this one in a few seconds, just like I'm applying my moisturizer. Just going to go over the whole face. Next, I'm quickly moving to concealer, and again for the concealer, even though I applied eye cream beforehand, I'm going to dilute the concealer with a little bit of my under eye moisturizer. Now this is only going to work if the under eye moisturizer that you're using is not too thick. If it is thick, it's not going to work. It has to be hydrating, but the texture has to be light for this trick to work. And it really helps for the concealer to stay in place much longer, and it doesn't crease at all during the day. Mix them well. I'm going to make sure to list all of the products that I used in the description box, and I'm just applying this super quickly under my eyes. Okay, and I'm ready to go. I don't need anything else. I don't need anything additional. Now, why this trick works so well? It's because your skin, after you apply your serum, your skin is usually ready to apply the moisturizer, and it's going to absorb the product a lot better. And this trick works incredibly well, especially if you don't have time in the morning, and if you have to go out very quickly, you don't have the time to do the blending, but at the same time you want to look nice and put together. Now, apparently this is not a trick that you're going to use for an evening, for if you want to have this very perfected look. This one is going to look beautiful to give you a light filter, and the amount of coverage that you're going to get, the amount of filter, it depends on the foundation that you're using. If you're using, like I did, a tinted moisturizer, you're going to get a very light coverage. But if you want a little bit more coverage, same flawless effect, you're just going to use a foundation that has medium coverage, and you're going to get more sophisticated coverage. This works on so many people. It works on mature skin as well. Make sure to try it. Let me know how it works for you. I'm very happy with the results, and this is something that works so well for me. Now, for some people, you might need to use a little bit of powder. This is going to depend on the condition of your skin. If your skin is oily, you might feel the need to use a little bit of powder. If your skin is normal or dry, you might not need to use powder. So what I love about this technique is that it gives me the feeling of freedom. It gives me the feeling that I don't have any foundation on my skin. I can even touch my skin and nothing is going to happen, and I don't see my pores, I don't see my imperfections. It's almost like I'm having a little filter. It's like having a little, very subtle, let's say not little, but subtle real life filter. And now if you want, you can take this a step further. Right now, nobody knows that I'm wearing foundation. Nobody can tell that I'm wearing foundation because my skin looks so natural. I'm going to use Chanel's travel size Le Beige bronzer, and I'm going to use it with my fingers just to add a little bit of color to my skin, a little bit of that healthy glow. And I'm applying this one with my fingers just because I want to have more control. Next, I'm going to use a little bit on my nose. I don't have any highlight right now. This is just because my skin, the foundation is mixed with the moisturizer, and my skin is naturally glowing, but I did not apply any highlight. And then the other product that I'm going to use is, I'm going to use one of the Care Wise blushes. This one is my favorite, and the shade here is Embrace. It's a beautiful shade. I'm going to apply this one right here, just to add a light touch of color to my face. And that's it. I'm only going to apply a little bit of lip balm. And there you have it, the natural French makeup look in less than a minute. It looks very nice in real life. Now, only if you need to apply powder, or if I need to apply powder, the one that I really like is by Westman Atelier. You can tell how much I love it because I already have a dent here. I need to repurchase this one. So only if I need to mattify my skin a little bit. This one doesn't contain talc, and it has skincare benefits as well. Okay, and there we have it. This is my very quick, very realistic, natural French makeup look that is very suitable for every day. Now, my favorite products here is, I really like this product from Dior because I feel like this one makes everything look so much better. It is a moisturizer that contains niacinamide, and that's why I love it so much, but at the same time it acts almost like a primer. So even if you decide to apply it on its own without mixing it with foundation, this product is excellent to have in your kit. for daytime use. I don't use it during the night, but any other moisturizer that you use, this trick is going to work with any moisturizer or foundation. Even if it's not a luxury foundation, you don't actually need luxury products here. And something that's very interesting with this technique, you can actually make any drugstore foundation look like a luxury foundation, because something that I've noticed about drugstore foundations, I have been testing a lot of them. The main difference between drugstore foundation and luxury foundations is that drugstore foundations look a little bit more, they tend to sit a little bit more on top of the skin, as opposed to luxury foundations that usually blend a lot more seamlessly into the skin. So this is a great tip if you want to make your drugstore foundation look very expensive and have the same performance as expensive foundations. You can just mix it with your moisturizer. You're going to get the skincare benefits and also it's going to blend very seamlessly and beautifully into the skin. And you're going to get this lovely airbrushed effect that luxury foundations give you. And also, if you're using a luxury foundation, again, this is a very easy trick that is going to take you less than a minute. You can't possibly apply foundation that quickly and that flawlessly if you apply the moisturizer first and then the foundation. There is no way that you're going to apply it that flawlessly. So try this technique. Please be sure to tag me if you try this technique. I would love to see your looks. I would love to see your natural makeup looks. Another product that I really wanted to recommend, especially to those of you who are above 40 years old or 50 years old, 60 years old, this powder is going to be your best friend because it really has some skincare benefits. It doesn't look powdery. You can use it every single day and it really helps to mattify the skin but without looking cakey, without looking heavy. So especially if you're suffering with dry skin, dehydrated skin, I think that this powder is beautiful. This is one of the best creations of Westman Atelier, truly unique product. Then one very quick tip that I want to share with you, now it depends. Some people have very long lashes on the bottom lashes, some people don't. I have very long lashes on my bottom lashes, so I never put mascara there, or I usually my under eye area sometimes is going to look a little bit dark because they have periods when they grow a little bit more, they have periods when they shed a little bit. But very often you're asking me what I have on my lower lash line. I almost never apply anything on my lower lash line. It's just the effect that you're getting from my bottom lashes. They are very long. Now, there is a way that can help you recreate this effect that is happening on people who have long lower lashes. It actually looks beautiful. It somehow frames the eye even if you're not wearing any makeup. So how you can cheat this one? Take a brown shade. Any brown shade that you have will do. Right now I happen to have the Guerlain bronzer. I wanted to use the Charlotte Tilbury, the Sophisticate eyeshadow palette. I think that this one is the best for this kind of trick and for sculpting the eye, but I can't find it right now. I'm not sure where I put this one. So I happen to have this bronzer from Guerlain. The best one is going to be, the only thing is that it shouldn't be shimmery eyeshadow. A small brush like this one from Chanel. I'm going to make sure to list everything in the description box. Take the color in the back of your hand and then just slowly lightly apply the color on the lower lash. This might be a little bit too pale for me because I'm with very dark hair. But this is going to create just a little bit of shadow that the camera is not going to pick right now. It's not really going to be that visible on camera, but it's going to be visible in real life. It's going to make a difference, and especially if you have very short lashes or if you almost don't have lashes on the bottom lash line, this one is going to be very beautiful, and it's going to take you just a few seconds to do that. Make sure to try it and let me know what happens. Now, one of the reasons why I love this whole foundation application technique is you can see right now I do not have, once again, any highlighter, but I have a light from here that hits my face and it looks beautiful. And this is the effect that we are getting in real life. And this is the wow effect that people think, well, you really don't have makeup because it doesn't look makeupy. Well, at the same time, your skin reflects the light in a beautiful way just because it has a little bit of coverage, but it's almost like a filter. And now we're moving on to the tip number 2. Tip number 2 includes wearing SPF. You should be wearing a dedicated SPF every day if you're going outside, because this is the product that is going to protect your skin from premature aging, from pigmentation, and from a lot more serious conditions. Now, you should not skip the SPF if you're going outside, especially now it's the spring summer season, so we are going to have a lot more sunshine. So start with your regular skincare routine, whatever works for you. For me, usually if I am to do my skincare routine and go out right away, I'm usually only going to use a serum, an eye cream, and then my SPF. If I'm staying at home for a few hours and then I'm going to go out, then I'm going to use a serum, eye cream, moisturizer, because I'm going to have the time, my skin is going to have the time to absorb the moisturizer. But I find that if I'm going out and I have to do my skincare routine quickly, I find that the SPF that I use is usually going to be enough to moisturize my skin. This is all going to depend on your skin type, skin condition. You know your skin best. So I started already with my regular morning skincare routine, and I'm going to move on to the SPF. The SPF should be the last step of your skincare routine. So for everyone, this is going to be different, whether you're applying essence, serum, moisturizer, and then the SPF. The SPF should come as a last step of your skincare routine and before you apply the makeup. The SPF that I'm going to be using right now is from Chanel. This is the new UV Essentiel, but you can use any other SPF that you have. This is going to work with a lot of SPFs. Now, the trick that I have for you is we're going to take this SPF. This is not really my favorite SPF. It's the newest released from Chanel, and it tends to not work with all skincare products, but we are going to make it perfect. And this trick that I'm going to show you now, it works for most SPFs. Let's say for a good percentage of the SPFs. Just go ahead and try and you're going to see. Now, these SPFs that have white consistency, they are usually a little bit unpleasant while you're blending them into the skin, but they can also work as a beautiful base. I'm actually going to take more. We're going to need more to cover my face. And then I'm going to add a drop of highlighter into the SPF, a liquid highlighter. I'm going to use my current favorite. This one is from Gucci. I think that this one works for all skin tones. At first I thought that it's going to be too dark for me, but it actually works beautifully on my skin tone. I have neutral undertones, but a friend of mine that has fair skin tone and cool undertones, again, it works on her as well. Just because when you sheer it out, it looks invisible in the skin. It doesn't have shimmery particles, it doesn't emphasize texture, so this is my favorite one to use for this technique. But you can also use another liquid highlighter. So the trick here is to take a small amount of liquid highlighter and add a drop, or let's add a couple of drops. This is going to depend on the amount of shimmer that your highlighter has. With the Gucci highlighter, it looks quite invisible in the skin, so I can add 2-3 drops depending. And I'm going to mix these two together. I'm probably going to add a little bit more later, but I'm going to start slowly. I'm going to add a touch more. And this is not for the beach days. This is not for the days where you're going to spend the day at the beach. This is for when you're spending the day in the city. But what this makes is, it makes your SPF so much better. Somehow helps with the blendability, and it almost transforms your SPF into an illuminating primer. Okay, so there we have it. Right now my skin is protected. I need to apply SPF on my neck as well. I know that, but I'm applying a different one because I don't want to I usually don't apply this kind of expensive SPFs on my neck. I use a different one. Now you can probably see, I suppose that the camera is going to catch this, that my skin right now looks very beautiful. It looks very luminous. It has this beautiful glow. Usually my skin doesn't look that good, that beautiful, if I only were to apply SPF. Now this technique is going to work with any SPF that you have, even the cheapest. By adding a drop or a few drops of liquid highlighter, you can transform your SPF and turn it into a beautiful illuminating makeup base. So you don't have to spend you don't have to spend that much money on an expensive SPF. And another trick that I have for you, this is actually going to mimic the iconic La Mer SPF. Now if you have tried this SPF, it gives this kind of effect, this glowy effect, because it has some illuminating particles in it and it makes the skin very luminous. But this one is so expensive. So just take like the most affordable SPF that you have, add a drop of liquid highlighter. Liquid highlighters are beautiful, so you're going to use this in your makeup kit as well. So add a few drops of your liquid highlighter to any SPF and you're going to get the same ethereal, beautiful effect that the La Mer gives you without spending that much money, because these liquid highlighters, they are going to last you for a very long time and you can add them to your SPF just to make this beautiful illuminating primer. Try it and let me know how it works. Now for myself, I usually don't apply foundation when I use this technique. The only thing that I'm going to apply is a little bit of powder that has some coverage and that has some color. I think that this technique is so good because it's going to make you actually want to use SPF, because we always try to stay away from SPFs and the skin is being damaged if you do not use a dedicated SPF every single day. But now sometimes if I want a more sophisticated coverage, I might use a little bit of concealer. I'm going to use just a tiny amount of the Sisley concealer and just a little bit of SPF because I want to protect my skin even more. Now, these were my 2 French makeup tips, but if you would like to stick around for a little bit more so that I can finish off my makeup, I would love if you do that. Right now, if you want to use foundation, go ahead and do so. I personally feel like my skin is even enough and I'm only going to use some powder. The powder that I'm going to use is from La Mer. You can use any powder that you like. Now here I have a couple of products that I would like to recommend if you want to add a little bit more dimension to the face before applying the powder. These are the by Terry Brightening CC blushes, and one is in Sunny Glow and the other one is in Rosy Flash. I have been repurchasing these since they released them. One is a little bit more bronzy, the other one is a little bit more pinkish. So you can use the bronzy one to add a little bit of contour to the face or even use it as a blush. And then the pinkish one is Divine Beautiful. Just apply it on the cheeks to add a little bit of color because they have a very similar consistency to this highlighter from Gucci. They literally disappear into the skin and they apply beautifully on top of SPF, but just with a tapping motion. Good thing about these is that you can also apply them on the go. You can apply them even on top of powder. They look beautiful. So I'm going to use the La Mer powder and I'm using my Givenchy puff, because the puff of the La Mer powder is not good. I don't like it. I'm going to start pressing the powder into my skin. But once you've applied the SPF, make sure that you're using a tapping motion because you're going to get a more flawless effect on the skin. A little bit of my favorite blush because this one has a blurring effect. I'm going to apply this one here. Quickly filling in my brows. Then with a big brush, I'm just going to use a touch of color right in the crease of my eyes, just to sculpt the eye. I'm using my favorite eyeshadow palette from Chanel. This one is T7 Dome. It works on everyone. Okay, and that's just to make sure that my eyelids are not too pale. Then a little bit of Stylo Ombre et Contour. Then a touch of the highlight shade right in the center of the eyelid. Now with the Gucci highlighter, what I love about this one is that you can take it in your handbag, you can refresh your complexion during the day. I can always apply a little bit more, it's never going to look too much, and it's beautiful because it's buildable. So let's go ahead, and I just want to show you, even now that I've applied all the powders, if I want to bring back the glow, I can do so with my finger. And that's it. This is going to be my finished look. I'm not even going to apply mascara. Like most days, I don't even feel the need to apply mascara because I have naturally long lashes, and even though on camera it doesn't look good, in real life it actually looks very nice, very realistic. I have a little fluff on my eye. Make sure to tag me if you decide to try these two techniques that I just showed you, and I hope to see you in the next episode of French for a Day. À bientôt!